Good afternoon, Mayhem Fitness. We have our next cooking video, and it has been cold the last few days in New England. I know it's still September, but it's got me in the mood to do something a little different, maybe a little bit of comfort food, but one you can do in a way that's fairly healthy. So today, we're gonna do beef stew. If you're like my family, we love beef stew. We eat it all winter, starting in the fall. It'll usually go right through until about March. And then I get really into that grilling mode again, and we kind of put it away. But for the next 6 months or so, this will become a regular staple for us. And you'll see in front of you, I have the ingredients. It's actually really, really easy. So what you have is, you have your lean ground chuck. This is gonna be the biggest point you have out of the whole meal. This will be about 6 points for about 7 ounces, right? So again, this is gonna be the majority of points you're gonna have in here. You'll see this is super simple. They only have a few ingredients. We've got red potatoes. I'm gonna cut these in half. They're gonna go in the pot. We've got baby carrots. We're gonna use the whole bag. Now I use a ton of veggies with this, right? So we're gonna use about a pound of potatoes, a pound of carrots. We have a good sized turnip, so I like to use turnip as part of this. And then we use a half of one yellow onion that I'll cut up fine and put in there. Now, it's a weekday. I actually have a conference call here in the next about 15 or 20 minutes, so I gotta get this ready to go so we can eat in the next 3 hours. So I'm gonna get this set up, but here's how I keep this one simple. You have a couple of options. I do use this beef stew package sometimes. You can do this and add water into it. It actually works pretty well, but what I found, if you're in a rush and you're trying to stay healthy, you can do the fat-free gravy, right? This is 1 point for a half a cup. Again, when you put this in there, we're gonna mix it with water, add some other seasonings, so we're not gonna add a lot of points on here. I use 3 cans. I'll actually fill that back up with water as well, so it's about six cans with the water for our liquid. We'll get these all chopped up into small pieces. Again, the red potatoes I cut into half. I cube the turnip into about, quarter-inch slices. They're fairly small. Keep the onion really fine. Leave the carrots just as they are, and you're done. So I'm gonna get this all cut up. I'm gonna get the beef actually cooked up. So what I do is I brown my ground beef first, then everything goes in the pot, and it just cooks literally for the next 3 hours. After about 3 hours, the meat will be nice and tender, and that's what you're looking for. The vegetables will cook quicker than that, but you want to let the meat cook until it's fork tender and it just falls apart in your mouth. So we're gonna have a delicious beef stew. Again, all said and done, for one really nice serving, you figure about a cup to a cup and a half. You're gonna be about 8 or 9 points. It's gonna be really hearty on a cool New England day for the fall, so something you can really enjoy. So I'll be back in just a minute when I cut these up. I'll show you everything. We put it into the pot, brown up the meat, and we'll get everything set up for you. All right, as you can see on here, all we did was we put the carrots into the boiling water. We've cut these potatoes up either into quarters or halves, depending on the size of the potato. We're gonna put those in the pot now, and in just a second, I'll show you how we cut that turnip up to get it in there. A lot of people don't like working with turnip because it is difficult to cut. I'll show you how I do it, and we'll come back and get that in the pan as well. All right, so we have our turnip. Turnip's always tough. I like to take a big sharp knife, and you really just want to get the skin off. I'm not going to go through the whole thing on this because these do take a little while to cut, and you don't need to watch me cut up a turnip. But once I get the skin off, what I'll typically try to do then is just cut a really large piece off. And you want to be careful. Again, turnip is a little bit tough to work with. You don't want to cut yourself. But when you go through, then all I would typically do is just take the turnip, make sure I have all the skin off here, and I'll put that in my bag in a second. And then I just go through and I cut it into, like I said, about quarter-inch pieces, half-inch pieces, just like that. Really simple. This goes right in here. We'll use the whole turnip today. If you haven't used turnip a lot, really nice. It goes well with the potatoes and the carrots. Just adds another little bit of depth into there. It does a great job of absorbing the flavor from the gravy and whatever spices you're going to put in there. So really, really nice. I like using it quite a bit. So again, something I recommend if you don't use it for your stew today. All right, so now we're just gonna put our beef in the pan here. We're gonna get this browned up. We've got all of our veggies in the pot. I didn't talk about it. What I do like to use is when I do this, I do like to use salt and pepper, a little garlic powder. I also throw some Montreal steak seasoning in there. I really like the flavor. I add a little Worcestershire sauce. And then sometimes I'll add just a little bit of mustard in there too. Again, I think it gives that a little bit of flavor, a little bit of kick. So as you're kind of experimenting with how you want to make your beef stew, again, think about how you want to add it in there, whatever you want to add in. But what we're going to do is we're going to brown up this meat. We'll take it over. We've got all of our veggies in the pot going right now, so we got a pretty full pot of vegetables. This will come up to a boil in the next 10 or 15 minutes. These are going to brown up very, very quickly. As they brown, I like to put them in here. Now, I don't drain the water when I add the gravy in for it. Again, there's a lot of flavor in there. A lot of the vitamins from the water cook into there. So I might drain maybe, you know, a half a cup of water out, but then I will add the gravy in and the rest of the stuff, and then we just kind of let it sit. What I do is I stir it every 20 minutes or so. And again, you want to cook it. There's no set time, but you want to cook until it's set to basically being the beef being fork tender, right? That's our ultimate goal here. So you want to do is you just want to focus on getting that meat to the desired tenderness that you're looking to have it at. Again, most of the time it's about a 3-hour meal from start to finish. I'll come back and show you when we're just about done. Right, so you can see over here, our stew's done. The sauce cooks way down. This cooked for about 2.5 hours. Everything's really tender. We got exactly what we wanted to get to. So we're gonna ladle it out over here and try some in the bowls. Like I said, again, somewhere in the 8 to 9 point range, not too bad. You can have a nice, big, healthy serving. It's a chilly day in New England. It's kind of gone right from summer to fall. So we're at, like, you know, 59 degrees today. Nice day to have this. It was cold this morning. So a couple things you want to check to make sure the stew's done. Really, the vegetables I know are going to be done. At this amount of time, they're definitely cooked. What we're looking for is to see if the meat is fork tender, if it just falls apart. And if you can kind of see here, you don't need a knife. It absolutely does. So you want to try that. Yeah, it just melts in your mouth. So that's exactly what you're looking for. You know, on a cold autumn day, we want to eat something that's kind of hearty. You know, on Weight Watchers, we're trying to stay healthy as well, so we're trying to keep those points to be reasonable. So just in a really good spot. Like I said, between 8 and 9 points. Thank you for checking out Mayhem Fitness. Like we always say, if you haven't had a chance to do it yet, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. New videos coming out all the time, including the new Delicious and Suspicious coming out soon. So please, thanks for keeping an eye out. Thanks for checking out Mayhem Fitness.